We're live from the Nile Avenue. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. My name is Sharon Chomdishe with Nakakoni Elizabeth on sign language. Let's take a look at the headlines. Museveni warns landlords against evictions. Over 1,000 vigilantes passed out in Lamwa. Busuju veterans mark Heroes Day at Kasa. In our international news, Sudan protesters tear-gassed. Still in more news, in our sports news, FIFA promoting women's football. Today being the National Heroes Day, President Yoweri Museveni saluted war heroes who died fighting for the political freedom, liberation and the peace that Ugandans are enjoying today. He was speaking at the 30th Heroes Day anniversary celebrations at Kasanje Town Council in Wakiso District under the theme, celebrating the courageous heroes that brought the peace and prosperity we're enjoying. Details follow.
Followed by the Secretary of State of Parliament. Followed by the Youth of the Civil Defense Forces.
In 1981, at a village called Chikandwa in Nakaseke, the government army came and arrested 9 of our supporters and executed them without trial, without any legal procedure. These were led by Rutamaguzi. Actually, I had been with him just a few days before, and I had slept in his house those few days before these people came. And Rutamaguzi had escorted me to Migade when I was going outside the country to look for support. And he had gone back. I left on the 6th of June to cross the lake and go to Nairobi, and these people were killed on the 9th. After they were killed one day after I had arrived in Nairobi, because I arrived in Nairobi on the 8th. Now, these were not the only people who were killed. There were many, many people who were killed. As you hear here, we have a mass grave where there are a number of skeletons, and in a neighboring sub-county called Chiringente, there was another mass grave. Altogether, there were 33 mass graves in the whole of Rural Triangle, with a total number of skeletons of about 70,000. Therefore, the 9 people killed were not the only ones. There were many others, but we just selected that day because they conducted themselves in a heroic way. Because they were told, you show us where the guerrillas are, or we shall kill you. And then they said, okay, you kill us. And that's what happened. That's why we selected this day to salute the heroism of these 9. The 9 included Omusomesa Nkangirwa, there was Sebastian, and 6 others. Therefore, Uganda is a land of heroes. 3 days ago, not 3, 6 days ago, we were in Namugongo, remembering the Christian and Muslim heroes, people who died for religion. Here, we are remembering people who died for liberty, for political freedom. And that's why we have this freedom now. You have seen these people, they were here, it was raining, but you didn't see them going away from the rain. Mwebale nnyo okugumira enkuba.
In more news, government has been called upon to support training of local vigilantes in northern Uganda to rid the region of pockets of insecurity. Now, Minister for Disaster Preparedness Engineer Hilary Onek decries security threats at border posts in Lamour district, to which he says a solution has to be found. He was speaking during the closure of a vigilante cadre course in Lamour district at an event officiated by NRM Secretary General Justice Kasule Lumumba.
The National Resistance Movement Secretary General Justin Kasule Lumumba was treated to a warm welcome in the northern district of Lamour. This was as a group of vigilantes was passed out to complement security initiatives in promoting stability in the region. These who trained in weapon handling and Uganda's political history, among other subjects, affirmed their commitment towards the cause.
I will continue to request that more cadre development courses to be conducted in this area, not only Lamour, but also in the other parts of East Acholi or in the whole of Acholi, so that many youth and the women are empowered in this kind of skill.
This initiative follows pockets of insecurity in some parts of northern region, with Lamour not being exceptional in some parts of the border with South Sudan.
Since the insurgency was over, has been the border conflict here. And our people, particularly in this sub-county where we are, they have lost animals, they've lost people, and even the other side, the hills there, Goro Hills, you cannot see now because of cloudiness. And even Lokung, Parabek side, at Paduat, along the border, we've been having challenges. And until we complained, then we realized that actually things was becoming more serious. We voiced our concern during Tare Sita. The president immediately acted and sent General Lokech, who went through the border and combed the area and cleared. And now there is semblance of peace, and he left Major Nywa to maintain that peace. For this, we thank government very much. We thank government.
It is an initiative that government has welcomed, with more training for local defense units being in the pipeline.
What is happening now, what UPDF is offering is a stopgap measure. but LDUs will be a long-lasting solution so that your own sons and daughters trained to offer security in our areas, to guard us, to guard the people in this area, to guard their properties on his behalf.
Kasule Lumumba, who was representing President Yoweri Museveni at this pass-out, challenged the area natives of all age groups to embrace income-generating activities. The assertion was in line with that of Disaster and Preparedness Minister, Engineer Hilary Onek.
Development is coming to Lamour. A lot is coming on the way, and our people is not going to block any development which comes here. We are not like those other districts where you now bring something they block. No, we want to develop. We shall receive an investment, an investor here, so that they can give us jobs. They give us jobs, they open our eyes, so that we start making money. We don't have to stay the old way. The old way, we are not making money.
Sit down as leaders and look at the most appropriate technology that will be more useful to all people. Next financial year, there is money that is going to cater for that. When you are in Gulu, he told you go and form circles for border borders, for taxis, for people with saloons, for people for... But if you realize those don't matter much here. The majority of us are farmers. What technology do we need government to give us to make sure we benefit more by increasing incomes in our homes, but also have food security in this area?
The 2 weeks CADA course in the northern district of Lamour attracted 1,215 trainees under the stewardship of 21 instructors. The training was not just limited to military in skills at arms and physical fitness, but also Uganda's political history and development programs, including the country's Vision 2040. Henry Okurut, UBC, in Lamour.
Veterans from Busuju in Mitiene district have marked Heroes Day celebration by cleaning and slashing around Kasa Veterans Monument in the area. Busuju veterans hailing from Nakabanga, Misiji, Manyi, Kalyankoko, Chimuli, among others, went ahead and participated in the exercise. Take a look.
This is Kasa Monument in Busunju, Mitiana district, where close to 500 remains of veterans are interred. These were freedom fighters that participated in the 1981-1986 Luweo Liberation War. Veterans in and around Busunju congregate around this monument annually to appreciate the role played by the freedom fighters who sacrificed their lives to liberate the country from repression. Captain Godfrey Kasibante Ntwatwa, a war veteran, commends government for the peace and stability in the country and cautioned against those attempting to provoke them by being disruptive. Kasibante hopes one day President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni will officially commission the Kasa Veterans Monument in appreciation of the 500 fighters who paid their ultimate sacrifice for the liberation of the country.
Abazira baffe nabo ekijjukiro kyaffe kijjukirwa kibeere ekimu ku ebyo ebijjukirwa nga nabo baalwana. Ffe tewali yensonga lwaki tujja wano pulezidenti asobole okutujjukira naffe atuleke otuteeka ku puroguramu okugulawo ekijjukizo kyaffe.
The veterans and some of their children thanked government for fulfilling some promises but requested a rollout of projects that will liberate them economically.
Wekitiibwa President, tukusaba ne projekiti zaffe zino ezijja mu Busuju ozongere mu amaanyi ozibukaze naffe abavubuka tusobole okusituka ne bannaffe abatuvaako emabega asobole okuba n'omusingi nga naffe gwe tukola ki.
President ayongere mu programu zeteekamu ssente naddaffe abalwanyi naffe tusobole okuganyirwa.
Report compiled by Salongo Kasibante, BBC News.
In more stories, hundreds of former Allied Democratic forces that operated within the Rwenzori sub-region are undergoing counseling. The former rebels and abductees that surrendered to the Amnesty Commission are being cancelled in preparation for integration in the former communities. Muthabali has more on the story.
The Amnesty Commission has embarked on counseling ex-ADF rebel abductees in the Rwenzori sub-region.
They tell them, please, you people are rebels, you are rebels. The way you behave, the way you laugh, the way you cry like a rebel. Stop their mind. So we want to iron out such differences because you are all Ugandans, you are brothers and sisters, we want to iron them out.
The decision to have the talking tour comes after Amnesty Commission received complaints from the ex-rebel abductees about mistreatment they face within their respective communities.
When people are going to the bush, of course some of them are forced, some of them had challenges, some of them wanted to go there, but most of them went because they were forced. Most of them went because they had problems, they were living in poverty. So when they come out to ask for forgiveness, we forgive them.
The demobilization and resettlement team leader, Henry Basaliza, says the victims have been called rebels based on their looks and the way they speak, adding that it's one of the things they would like to erase from people's minds.
We put into practice what we call Amnesty Act, which was ushered in by Parliament in the year 2000. This act was passed for the sake of bringing peace into Uganda by forgiving the people who come out of the bush so that they settle down in society and they live in harmony with their colleagues.
The chief mobilizer of the reporters in the Western region, Sekatawa Kamakogera, explains that since the reporters witnessed a lot of bad challenges while in the bush, like killings, women being raped, among others, it is therefore inevitable for them to receive psychosocial integration.
Government nga tuyitira mu Ministry ya Internal Affairs for Amnesty Commission tuteekawo kye bayita psychosocial support mu bitundu ebyenjawulo nga tusisinkana ba ex-combatants kati betuyita ba reporter okubabudaabuda okulaba nga mu community gye tubasindika basobola okuddayo ne batuula ne batuuze bannaabwe mu mbeera ennungi nga basobola okuba nga tebasobola kudda mu bikolwa biri eby'ekitemu ebyo eby'obutujju bye babadde balimu y'ensonga lwaki tuli ne omusomo guno.
A resident of Chigusuru village, Kisinga sub-county, says that most of the people they were taken with to the bush got killed, others died of hunger, and many died of diseases, for they were never given medication in the case of falling sick. Haimana Deo and Mutabali Moses reporting for BBC News.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has warned landlords against illegal evictions of tenants, warning of legal consequences. Museveni says landlords should desist from taking advantage of ignorant tenants to torture them with illegal evictions. He was delivering this on Heroes Day in Wakiso District, where he challenged residents of Kasanje to embrace government development programs. He also pledged to construct the Netete Nakauka Kasanje to Mpiji Road to ease business in the area. Take a look.
Development is for all of us. It is infrastructure, mainly infrastructure. But wealth belongs to an individual or a company or a corporation. And I was telling them that everybody must try to engage in wealth creation of one type or another. And these are commercial agriculture, industries, big and small, services, and ICT. I told them that here in the villages, ICT may not be very applicable, but the other three are very much applicable. Land evictions by landlords evicting tenants are done by fraud, because the law does not allow it. But they come here in the villages and intimidate these villagers and evict them. I told them that they should liaise with their political leaders and resist these illegal evictions.
Hello, my name is, as usual, Mr. Budget. Now, the major aim of decentralization is to bring services closer to the people. You see, majority of Ugandans are actually served by their local governments. The overall local government allocation for the next financial year is 3.8 trillion shillings. Good money, right? And 2.8 trillion shillings of this is recurrent expenditure, while 948 billion shillings is development expenditure. The big question though is this enough for local governments to bring services closer to their people? Let's find out together at the budget reading on the 13th of June 2019. Our budget, our responsibility. This message is brought to you by CS-BAG, Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and URA.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In more stories, parents have been cautioned against being violent and using abusive language against their children. Now, the Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Florence Nachiwele, says children often run away from their homes because of parents' mistreatment. This was at Mutundwe Street Kids Training Center in Kampala District. We have a detailed report on this.
Over 300 street children are being trained in driving, tailoring and hairdressing after having been withdrawn from the streets of Kampala. The Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Florence Nachiwele, says government has come up with a number of interventions aimed at withdrawing street children from streets, accommodated and rehabilitated.
So this is the center where people who are vulnerable, people of last hope, people from the streets are brought to a confinement under captivity, but eventually they are trained in driving and mechanics and hairdressing, and they can be certified and examined by the government. That is particularly the Directorate of Industrial Training, to make sure that they can standardize their training with the rest of the colleges. So here, from the street, you can go to the office. This is the route, UNIDA.
Chinji advised parents to make sure that they address issues in their communities that could drive their children to the streets. She said that with the kind of trainings offered by the center, children have the potential to become great citizens.
It was launched by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda out of a call to create a mindset change, positive mindset within the young people, because it forms a basis of why they feel they are left behind, why they feel that there is no hope, But it's not that they are useless, but they are used less. So the aim of this Kurangwa here is to make sure that we use the youth. We show them opportunities, we mentor them. Personally, I spend a day per week to come and sit down in the grass with them and tell them my stories and tell them that they will make it.
There are about 15,000 children roaming urban centers across the country. Government has over 100 approved homes and rehabilitation centers to support children picked from urban centers. Clement Wanjira compiled this report.
34 couples have been united in marriage at Ginger Catholic Parish in Wakiso District. Now the unprecedented ceremony was witnessed by hundreds of relatives and friends of the couples. Kampala Archdiocese's message, Dr. Lawrence Semusu, assisted by several clergy, officiated the ceremony.
It was a moment of jubilation, celebrations, singing and praising as 34 couples walked each other down the aisle for holy matrimony at Kaloli Catholic Parish in Wakiso District. Monsignor Dr. Lawrence Semusu blessed their marriage, urging other Christians still cohabiting to sanctify their union. A procession by St. Thomas Ginger Kaloli Choir, priests, catechists, among other Christians, preceded the group wedding. Monsignor Dr. Lawrence Semusu commended the couples for the decision of formalizing their marriage and encouraged them to respect one another and continue going to church.
Men and women who have chosen to get married, to receive Jesus Christ in their life, to say, "As sin behind me, Jesus Christ in front of me." We praise and glorify God. When the Pentecost day came round, the apostles had all met in one room when suddenly they heard what sounded like a powerful wind from heaven.
The Member of Parliament, Nansana Municipality, Robert Kasule, commended the parish priests of Ginger Kaloli for helping the parishioners to embrace principles of a good family-like holy marriage.
For everybody have a matrimony, a marriage that is blessed by God Himself, and I thank Father Wemba Ginger Kaloli for initiating all these couples, 34 couples of them, to wed at the same time. It's a good thing, it gives God glory. So we praise Him and we encourage all the youth to take up marriage early.
Report compiled by Salongo Kasvante for UBC News.
Retired magistrate in Teso Sub-Region Mzee Wilson Okelo has offered part of his land to donors for the establishment of Early Childhood Education and Development Center that will see education status enhanced in Bukedea District. This center is the first of its kind, targeting children who have chosen to either stay at home until the age of 7 years or trekking long distances to access early childhood learning in Koena Sub-County, Bukedea District. Oko has a detailed report.
The new Koena sub-county in Bukedea district started operating in the last financial year. The area, however, did not have childhood development centers to prepare learners appreciate early childhood education. Hundreds of children in this sub-county have been choosing between staying at home until the age of 7 years or trek for long distances to access early childhood education.
This early childhood we have very few and are far away from where we stay. Most of us here we have none. We wait until the child reaches 7 years. Some of them they reach 8 before they go to P1. That's where they start from.
There are those ones who can afford to pay for them to go to nursery. They go to further places. But those ones, the poor ones, they sit around, they start from primary, just directly before they go to nursery.
This contributed to the poor performance of primary schools in this sub-county.
definitely the performance is poor because these are children who started from home and they go to primary. So we see that the performance cannot be good because this one who start from nursery start knowing more of this English, especially interpretation of the language, because examination is done in English.
But now, a retired magistrate, Mzee Wilson Okello, has donated part of his land for the construction of an early childhood education and development center.
I bought land here. I found out that this place was not educationally up to date.
During the groundbreak ceremony, residents were excited for the initiative aimed at promoting literacy levels in the area. The district leaders committed their support towards the project.
And definitely, I want to assure you, our donors, we shall not have any challenge as far as licensing of this school is concerned.
It's going to be an ultra-modern facility. It will cost over $60,000. And as you can see, vehicles are offloading materials. The work has started, the foundation has been laid, and within 3 months, this school should be operational and children should be able to come here.
So we'll have one corner where it is a sitting room, a bedroom, and things that we do at home. So the kids will learn, you know, this is the kitchen, this is the sink, this is this is what we do in the house.
Joseph Oko compiled this report.
Now, World Bank, in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Sports, has donated 2 billion Ugandan shillings to the Akasinga Center for Higher Education in Shema District. The grant is to help in the infrastructure development of the school. Take a look.
Classroom blocks, to build for us 2 multi-purpose science blocks, to build for us an administration block, to build for us toilets, latrines for both students and staff, to build for us staff quarters, to build for us a multi-purpose hall, to build for us another standard kitchen, because we even do catering and hotel management, to do water harvest in all our buildings. It is the role of government to provide staffing to institutions of public nature. We have discussed with the Commissioner Planning, we have discussed Commissioner Secondary, we have discussed with the Commissioner Human Resource, Minister of Education and Sports, that Yakasinga should get more teachers on the payroll.
We have been lobbying for more teachers, lobbying for the library which has not been built, lobbying for many classrooms, and this school is doing a lot of service to the country.
Teacher turnover and continuous absenteeism are being identified as the main reasons for poor quality education. This has been reiterated during a belated Matters Day celebration at Uganda Matters Junior Boys School, Namilyango.
Uganda Matters Junior Boys School Namilyango has celebrated a belated Matters Day in tribute of their patron saints. The occasion was graced by members of the public, especially old boys and clergy, whose deliberations focused mainly on education. Questions were raised about teacher turnover and absenteeism at schools, which causes fewer teacher-to-student contact hours and in the long run affects quality.
If government cannot come up with a dedicated, strong pay for the teachers, turnover will be there. They are trying in the private sector. Private schools are paying high. Of course, government has a good salary, but it is not enough in terms of what the teachers. They also have families. They want their children to go to good schools.
Older students have of recent played a fundamental role in revamping their schools and ensuring teachers are motivated enough to perform their basic tasks.
In our business news, the chairman, National Resistance Movement Party social media activist Levin Julius has called upon government to support youth projects, especially those who are innovators. This was during exhibition organized by the Youth Activation Process Network, Bulaga Village in Wakiso District.
The youth in Bulaga Village in Nakabogo Parish, Wakiso District, started an innovative approach to improve their social and economic well-being through skilling and livelihood support among themselves. The project was aimed at training youth in different technical works, tailoring, fashion design, farming, among others. After 3 years, the group lacks startup capital, tailoring machines to support their livelihood.
Kyakolera abo mu kibuga n'abayamba nakukwatisa mu buyambi naffe amuleeteko eno mu kyalo ku bantu b'ewansi naffe tusobole okuvaamu tufune naffe ekintu tweyimirizeewo naffe ate naffe tuyambe n'abalala.
The chairman, NRM social media activist Levin Julius, who was the chief guest, pledged to forward their proposal to the special presidential personal assistant on youth affairs for funding.
We asked them actually if they have like a circle, and they said they do have it. For them, what they need, because as you've seen, it's just a very organized team. They are determined, they are skilled, young, and so brilliant. So I think I will share a lot with the Honorable Hearings, okay? To have the final touch.
The team leader Youth Activation Network of La Alex said skilling and empowering the youth can be translated into unemployment.
People joined us and they are willing to train every youth that is willing to learn whatever they are doing. But the challenge we are all facing is one that there is scarcity of equipment to use during the training sessions.
Over 500 youth have been trained in tailoring, fashion design, videography, and electrical installations.
Mutwe naye nali siina mulimu gonna gwe mmanyi naye ekibiina kino kinnyambye kinjigiriza fashion nnyingi nnyo ze mmanyi kati.
Tulinawo bisatu kati twetaaga ebyetaago ng'ebyalaani ne material kuba mulimu abatalina ssente ng'asobola okugula ekyalaani oba okugula material.
Unemployment has caused a lot of damage to the young generation and pushed men to do things that ended up destroying their lives. However, government has come up with initiatives such as sack formation, youth livelihood, and skilling the girl child to combat poverty among the youth. Mutesa Sera Haruna reporting for UBC News.
Following the recent enactment of the Traditional and Complementary Medicine Bill by Parliament early this year, all natural medicine practitioners will be required to undergo formal training and certification. Now, as part of the strategies to implement and comply to the new requirement, the Management Advanced International University in Naweri Wakiso District has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the National Leadership of Herbal Practitioners Council to train and prepare them for the new challenge.
Management of Advanced International University, in partnership with the National Council for Traditional Healers and Herbalists Association, is to provide academic training to herbalists. This follows plans by government to enact a law aimed at ensuring that all herbal practitioners undergo formal training and certification. Advanced International University Management, led by its president Samuel Majwega Musoke, and Nakotha leadership, represented by its Secretary General Karim Musasizi and Major Mwanga David Chibirango, signed the Memorandum of Understanding at the university's campus, Nabweru, Wakiso District.
Advanced International University came up in association with the Directorate of Industrial Training to offer this training. So today we have signed this agreement so that together we work with Nakotha. First of all, they have been doing this for the last 26 years. They have been in this industry. They have membership. They have a lot of members who are yearning for this training.
Memorandum of Understanding, which we have signed today with Advanced University, is about the partnership, working relationship, togetherness of making this industry grow.
This follows discussions between the representatives of the two parties that agreed on the details of the new partnership. Avance International University is affiliated to Franklin University, Ohio, in USA, and Bronston Canadian Academy. Course will be conducted in a modular system with provision for those who don't understand English to use their local languages. Report compiled by Juko Collins for UBC News.
In our international stories, Sudanese security forces have fired tear gas and live ammunition to disperse protesters setting up barricades in Khartoum. 3 people have been killed on the first day of the strike, according to the doctors aligned to the opposition. Campaigners have called for ongoing civil disobedience from Sunday to make it as difficult as possible for the military to govern Sudan. It comes days after military crackdown left dozens dead. A number of Sudan's bank, airports and electricity workers were arrested ahead of the strike against the military rule, the main protest groups said. Now, the Sudanese Professionals Association, SPS, said employees were also being threatened by the authorities to scare them into going to work instead of taking part in the national-wide strike. The ruling Transitional Military Council, TMC, has made no comment at all. Now, sports stories. Nkumba Tornadoes has beaten Deji University Lady Hoopers 23-19 in the University Derby of the National Handball League at Mandela National Stadium, Nambole. The narrow margins ended 14-9 in favor of Nkumba Tornadoes at halftime, and they maintained that advantage throughout the game, in which Doreen Ondoa was at her sublime best. Victory thus maintains Nkumba Tornadoes atop the Women's National Handball League with 13 points, while Ndeje University Lady Hoopers are second with 10. Prison's Handball Club is third among the women, while Kawande Handball Club, that aged Uganda People's Defense Forces 42-23, is fourth with 7 points after 5 games. Uganda Police that Handball Chengeza 23-17 is sixth, levels on 4 points with Nkaija that was out of action during the latest match today. In the men's category, Police continued its pursuit of table-toppers Ndeje University with a resounding 41-29 win over Chengeza. That victory took them to within 2 points of the leaders, who on 10 points have played a game less than Police that sits fourth on a tightly contested log. Prisons and Makerere occupy second and third position. Uganda People's Defense Forces that walloped Mukono 40-21 is fifth, while Chengeza remains winless and rock bottom after 5 match days for most teams. Federation of Uganda Football Association FUFA is committed to promoting women football to continental level. This comes with introduction of the FUFA Women Cup tournament at Makerere University crowned champions of 2018-2019 seasons. Makerere University defeated Lady Doves 2-0 at the finals held at the Philip Omondi Stadium in Lugogo.
First goal of the game, and the first one for Makerere University Women's Volleyball Club, scored by shot number 14, Chris. I'd like to announce that the time is shown up and they decided to take on the name of the university.
Oh, congratulations to the winners from the women's football category. Moving on, Russian athletes may miss this year's World Championship in Doha after the International Association of Athletics Federation voted to continue its doping ban. The IAAF took the decision at a council meeting in Monaco, the 11th time it has voted to maintain the ban. Athletes have not been able to compete since November 2015 after it was uncovered. The World Championship will take place from the 28th of September to 6th October. Under the terms of the IAAF ban, Russian athletes cannot compete under their own flag. However, athletes who have met the IAAF Doping Review Board's drug testing criteria can compete under neutral flag. More than 70 Russian athletes competed as neutrals at the European Championship in Berlin in August 2018. The latest decision to uphold the ban puts the IAAF at odds with other sporting bodies such as the World Anti-Doping Authority and the International Olympic Committee. And that is all we had for you at 10 p.m. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. Before we sign out, we will take a look at the headlines. Museveni warns landlords against evictions. Over 1,000 vigilantes passed out in Namwa. Busuju veterans mark Heroes Day at Kasa. Sudan protesters tear-gassed. In our sports news, FIFA promoting women's football. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. My name is Sharon Chamdisha with Nakakoni Elizabeth on sign language. From the team and I, have a lovely night and a blessed week ahead of you.